celebrate them very specially. Thank you very much. The hierarchy of the National Assembly is a very women-friendly one. We have, as a woman, the senator representing AKS Senatorial District, leading other members of the National Assembly to this very, very arena for this women's essay. Iban emenemes redicate Senator Akon eyanyi mboye myobo inonye. We welcome you, and by extension we welcome all the distinguished senators that are here. Market Senator Aloy Shutetuk, a very woman-friendly senator. We celebrate you, we welcome you. I've seen members of the House of Representatives, other members of the National Assembly, member representing Itu, Ibiono, Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Dr. Henry Achibong. Dr. Owidwekbo Taimbo, can we give a very big round of the party? Deputy State Chairman, leading every other member of the party to this event. You are most welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Recognize the supervising ministry that has made this event, this beautiful, this colorful. The Honorable Commissioner in charge of the Ministry of Women Affairs, Dr. Ini Adiakpan, leading other members of the State Executive Council that are very much here with their wonderful spouses. We celebrate all the members of the ESCO. God bless you. Chairmen of boards and commissions and their spouses are here. Can we appreciate them very warmly? Thank you very much. We recognize all the permanent secretaries, particularly the female permanent secretaries. If they are here, we'd love to see them. The female permanent secretaries, supported by their men in the ministry. Permanent Secretary, Women Affairs, you are most welcome. I thank you. We recognize you very specially. Thank you. Women Permanent Secretaries and their men, and the male Permanent Secretaries and their wives. Yes, God bless you very much. We also recognize all the local government chairmen who have come here in great number, all with their spouses. Our host chairman, Chairman Uyo, leading all the other chairmen, Chairman of Algon, all the chairmen of local government areas, Chairman Ikoribene, we see you very specially. Thank you very much. Without the women, the peace of Akwa Ibom State will not be guaranteed. That is why the service commanders are very much here. The sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, very much. And indeed, all the service commanders that are here, thank you very much. We celebrate you. We need to keep the protocol brief. We recognize all the women organizations, all the professional organizations, all the women support groups, and by extension, we'll use this opportunity to recognize the heads of the various Senatorial District Women Forum that are here. Uyo Senatorial District Women Forum, led by Right Honorable Dr. Ekaite Bongokon. Ikoribene Senatorial District, we recognize you, Honorable Inibo Yoke Silas Etuguro leads them. Thank you very much. Eminianko AKS Senatorial District Women, led by Mrs. Idari from Akpan, we recognize and welcome you. And by extension, all the women group, the National Council for Women Societies, we recognize and we welcome you very, very specially. Imikoma Freeban, all the women judges that are here, and all the judges and their wives, we recognize and welcome you. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press. The theme of this Women's Day is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. And we are very grateful to the women-friendly governor of Akwa Ibom State, who has not only made this theme to be a theme on paper, but has also made this a reality. May God bless our governor. Yabaserion governor nyen. Anama ya ibane woiso ibane dum poke Akwa Ibom. Ibo baserion onye kenyeng Jesus Christ. And so to push this event forward, we would be listening to a keynote speech at this point in time, which will be delivered on the Mbogyak Brass Band, a lead in the interlude. All right, thank you, the brass band. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our mother has gladly, very well instructed. Aru help us render a very special welcome song by the women of Uyo Senatorial District, particularly of Ibom. So Misunu Yiko Ribani to Ebo Yaisang Iwoide, Eri Kwaikwa, for and on behalf of all the women that are here. Ibani to Ewoide.
Risen voice.
Our dear speaker, my chief judge Akwa Ibom, PDP chairman, Foni Bana Akwa Ibom, Abasibo Modion Mufo, Emedi. Ufana make Sabasianam Iginekami Abasiedo nom poinam Abendi Bana Akwa Ibom Masan Kotu Ibana Akwa Ibom State Edo #1 Idakwa Iban Awegi Sibata Kempo Ebo Kem we are good for nothing Ukubu Siuyo Ede madam shut up What do you know? Enter the kitchen Idami I make it Kempo my change Gine kamite Sabasianam. Even Akwa Ibom steady the hot cake. We are positioned for greatness. And yesterday we are in Ibo. Sosomo. Eka umana Akwa Ibom. Eka nom boinam. Iban Akwa Ibom Nemedi Abasibo Modium Mofo Excellency Amedi Abasibo Modium our Deputy Governor Amedi Abasibo Modium our dear Speaker Amedi Abasibo Modium Chief Judge Akwa Ibom Amedi Abasibo Modium PDP Chairman Amedi Abasibo Muriamo Mfoni Bana Akwa Ibom Emedi Abasibo Muriamo Emedi Abasibo Muriamo Mfo Emedi Emedi Abasibo Muriamo Mfo Ufana Meka Sabasianam Ayine kami abasiedo nom koinam Abendi awiki sibata kempo Ekesebo ke we are good for nothing Ukubu siuyo ete madam shut up What do you know? Enter the kitchen Idami ameker kempo ma change Sabasianam Iban Akwa Ibom State Edo hot case. We are positioned for greatness. And yes, in Ibo. Sosomo. Our Excellency. Sosomo. Ekawan Akwa Ibom. Ano Ibanu kare kara sosomo.
Amekwa de kenekwa.
Basibaga.
Anewobo. Kabasibaga.
Anewo tawo ikono boka basibaga.
Ejani wobo. Kabasibaga. Mani wo tawo ikono ya.
Anewo kabasibaga. Anewo tawo ikono boka basibaga.
Ibana beri say a few things about eye health. The Bible tells us that the eye is the body. And we are all here, seeing all that is going on, appreciating one another because we have good eyesight. Last week we celebrated the International World Glaucoma Week, and the theme was, "The world is bright, save your sight." So the organizers of this year's International Women's Day celebration have recognized the importance of vision, and that is why I am here to let you know, give you a few tips about how to present. 80% of what we learn is from the from vision. Without the vision, you will not learn much. The statistics from World Health Organization has made us to know that about 49 million people are blind. And of these, 54% are women. But the other causes include trauma, event, and destroy. And so, you will not, there is no pain, there is no itching, there is no redness. You could be one day, you just open your eyes, you cannot see again. So, how do you prevent glaucoma? You cannot prevent something that you don't know the cause. The cause of glaucoma is not known. That is the worst aspect of it. But we have what we call risk factors. But risk factor. Number one risk factor is that you are an African. The fact that you are an African, you stand a risk. There is a risk of developing glaucoma. So, most of us meet to Africa. When you are 40 years and above, you stand a risk. Another important risk factor, added the fact that a member of your family and your glaucoma, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. If you have other risk factors, when you don't have diabetes, is a risk factor. When you don't have short-sightedness, the one we call pathological myopia, is a risk factor. Is a risk factor. Now, since you don't know the cause, how do you stop? How do you prevent yourself from getting blind from glaucoma? One way you can do that is having regular eye examination. It is only when you have regular eye examination that doctor can make a sign of glaucoma and they start the necessary treatment. You may not be able to stop glaucoma from occurring, but you can stop blindness from glaucoma. So what are the other things you can do to take care of your eyes so they can preserve your vision, because the world is beautiful. As mothers, many of us have given birth. From the very first day you give birth to a baby, when you're strong enough to carry that baby in your hand, begin to observe that baby's eyes.
The father of the Akwa Ibom State anthem, please. You may please be seated, please. Thank you very much. Iban Borakaiti Mufo is a song. Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the very gender-sensitive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, who, of course, knew that he was going to be here. Governor Isikamagibana Akwa Ibom Ibrembre, so it's an International Women's Day awardee. Akenevo Yaridi Tia Yiban, Bog Yakwa Oborino Governor, Yakwa Oborino, yeah. Your Excellency, the wife of the Governor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Speaker represented, my Lord, the Chief Judge, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, before you came, we have already had some of these items done. And just as you were coming, Dr. Abraham was giving us a very important presentation on eye health. Because that is very important. But it's a young couple given is me and the dog a young do. I mean, can make a mema go to a car. Anything is a small box, even in those good old days. Some bonga tip bombing gang every night, and Bogan boy, a second amdo, a doctor will go in Amaba. Doctor will marry me, I throw in a dog, his name, a kaison, go with me again young. But I said, I said, make feet, make slippers, make TV, even don't give wood. In Jesus' name. So, Your Excellency, let me invite Dr. Abraham to please kindly come, take a minute or two and round up her presentation, the very important presentation on eye health. March past, I go ben finedimi, but Pauntonko Setak, Afamu Yeme, at least a Yasokre womb fancy Yemi Fiomi, Afoboki Maikup na Doctor Bo, Ayenama Yaka Yagu Sayen. Good to none of a fair chemist, we know yeast, Yarimen, or you know vitamin A, Yarimen, and yet tang me, see vitamin A, yeast. Ya Tangama. But yeah, Dr. M.M. Abraham, one more time. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Deacon Udom Emmanuel, sir, you're welcome. Thank you for coming to be with us in International Women's Day of 2022. So we're talking about eye health. We've said a number of things, and as a way of summarizing, I want to again say that we should have our eyes checked from time to time. In this order, mothers, observe your children as soon as you have given birth to them. As they begin to take those steps by crawling, they start school, watch out to see if there is any abnormality in their vision so that we can pick that up and report to the doctor. I also said that when they're about to start school, primary school, let their eyes be checked. When they're about to enter secondary school, let their eyes be checked because their eyes are growing and these things will manifest from time to time. Now for the adults, from the age of 40, for the blacks, 35 years, you find out that you have difficulty in reading at the normal distance. It is part of growing. It's part of age changes. So I will advise you, you go and see a doctor. You will need prescription lenses. But that's not the most important thing. That from that age of 40, as we said, 40 is a risk factor of developing glaucoma. So don't go and just get glasses from the market. Go to the appropriate eye health practitioner. Your eyes will be examined so that if you have glaucoma, it can be picked up early and then blindness from glaucoma will be prevented. I also said that from that age, at least once in 2 years, if you don't have any risk factor. But if you have any risk factor, at least once a year. And if you have a family member that is blind or has had glaucoma, you must have your eyes checked. If you have diabetes mellitus or hypertension, which is another risk factor, you must have your eyes checked regularly. Please, those who have problems with allergy, don't indulge in using mascara. Mascara will worsen your allergy. And it can, with the excessive rubbing, and making you know and that can lead to blindness finally if it's not properly treated. So that's why young girls. Amanyam funa kenyen, kusin holy oil, kusin holy water, kusin anything. Just go to the hospital because what we call harmful traditional eye medication. Red eye for Apollo. It may not be Apollo. Baby info and Kenyan. It may not be Apollo. Because I'm asking to make it worse. And I want to say, Her Excellency said, I'm going to go to matter pregnant care. That is just to encourage you to go for antenatal care. I'm antenatal care. But for many of them, for my man, and yen gonorrhea and the test for you, but treat. But upon for we detect, I'm not man, I know gonorrhea and I'm not gonorrhea and focusing more back, yakapanda. Please let us be wise. Finally, I want to say that Job said, I've made a covenant with my eyes. So, maybe you are a friend in me. You make a covenant with our eyes that we will treat our eyes with respect. We'll do good to our eyes. We'll not just put anything into our eyes. We'll not just wear any glasses, but we'll go to appropriate quarters to have our eyes checked. For the World Glaucoma Week that we ended on Saturday, we have identified some hospitals here in Uyo where you can walk in and you have ophthalmologists to treat you. You have the University of Your Teaching Hospital. You have the State Eye Care Clinic, which is in the Secretariat. You have the General Hospital in Tungbang. You have the Equator General Hospital. All these hospitals have ophthalmologists. Please go in there and have your eyes checked because the world is very beautiful. Akwa Ibom State is very beautiful. You need to keep your vision. God bless you.
Your Excellencies, I think Dr. Emem Abraham deserves a big round of applause. Can we please put our hands together for her? Thank you very much. We've had to learn a lot, a whole lot. And the one that really concerns, go to 2020 principle. Mese na mutumge computer, mese wuonyen phone. Every 20 minutes, ya depend on see computer for just a minute or phone. So in me can walk a phone 2 hours and do yokum. So every my week of so every 20 minutes, and these are very important things because, like she said, the world is very beautiful, and the eyes are the window to the soul. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to revert to the original course of this program. But please and please, every single individual who is going to come up here for one item or the other, please be very conscious of time. Today is a Monday, and we do not need to keep anybody here longer than necessary. So as much as possible, abridge your speeches, your presentations, your interventions and presentations at this event. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to present a welcome speech on this day, the grand finale of International Women's Day 2022, with the theme, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Let me invite to officially welcome us to this event by her speech, Honorable Commissioner in charge of the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Ini Adiakpan. Please put your hands together for her. She comes up here to present her speech. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, Akbarawa Uko, Uyaya Woden, Etiba na Akwa Ibom, Atanganama Governor, the promise keeper, Mr. Industrialization, we salute you, our Governor. Her Excellency, the wife of our Governor, Dr. Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel. Eka Akwa Ibom. Uyayeka. Eka beni bansen ketwo. Ubare noi ka. Mother compassionate, the phenomenal mother, the trailblazer, the award-winning mother, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Moses Ekpo, the gender-friendly Deputy Governor, the Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, the Deputy Speaker here, standing for herself, and the Speaker of the House of Assembly. Party is represented. Ikwa Iban, Eden, Please permit me to stop there. In the past few days, leading to this moment, women all over the world have been upbeat with series of activities relating to the celebration of the 2022 International Women's Day, held globally on every 8th day of March. So our gathering here once again today makes us great partakers of a great history that has brought about enormous changes and fresh perspectives on the essence and the place of womanhood in the development of humanity and evolution of the society. This event therefore honors women of the past, the present, and the future. The cardinal theme for the 22 International Women's Day is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. The theme is aimed at advancing greater equality in women's leadership, recognizing and amplifying the important roles women play around the world in political participation and governance. Let me at this juncture confess that I'm particularly happy that the women of Akwa Ibom State, inspired by the purposeful leadership demonstrated by His Excellency, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, and his wife, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel, are conscious of the significance of this great day on that calendar and have turned up accordingly in overwhelming numbers. History will not forget Her Excellency for being at the great forefront of this movement. With His Excellency's support and approval to host this event today, it clearly shows that he is a gender-friendly governor. This is a statement of facts, and as I said so, without any fear of contradiction. Like in the previous years, especially counting from 2015, Akwa Ibom women as a whole have every reason to celebrate the 2022 International Women's Day with a sense of pride, fondness, deep contemplation, and expectations of better days to come. I stand here today as a proud woman who has benefited immensely from the gender-friendly disposition of our performing governor, His Excellency Governor Udom Emmanuel. Through his good governance template, has contributed his quota to gender equilibrium by not creating any valley between the way he treats women and men in his leadership trajectory and policies. He has empowered women massively and including them as critical partners and stakeholders in governance and leadership roles. Through the effort of His Excellency and Her Excellency, we have witnessed an enhanced visibility of women at decision-making levels in the state. His Excellency's record of inclusion of women in his administration remains unprecedented. Since the creation of Akwa Ibom State, Akwa Kanafanga, Anyero Aworo. From the number of women councillors to supervisors, secretaries of councils, to vice chairmen, chairmen of councils, to members of the House of Assembly, and members of the State Executive Council. Your Excellency, we are very, very grateful. Iba Let me use this media to especially thank His Excellency Governor Udomi Manuel for approving and releasing the sum of 100 million only for the empowerment of widows of ex-servicemen and the sum of 7 million naira to improve the welfare of men of the Nigerian Legion. I stand on behalf of the beneficiaries of this huge benevolence of His Excellency to say, may God continue to bless our governor and grant his heart desires, in the name of Jesus. Amen. However, Akwa Ibom women will be very happy to see His Excellency expedite action on some pending women-related bills by assenting to those bills already passed into law by the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, especially that of persons with disability bills, a bill for the provision of free and compulsory medical treatment for victims of sexual violence and other related matters connected therewith, as well as increased support to women welfare programs and policies. Her Excellency Dr. Martha Udomi Manuel, Etieka Akwa Ibom, has proven to be a woman leader with great vision, tenacity of purpose, and pragmatism. She has provided an exemplary leadership to Akwa Ibom women and served as inspiration and succor to all the Akwa Ibom women. Her pet project, the popular and resilient Family Empowerment and Youth Reorientation Path Initiative, FEREP, has proven to be a catalyst for the speedy development of our estate. We are grateful to Her Excellency for always leading Akwa Ibom women to be actively involved in the issues of gender parity, socio-economic empowerment, political inclusion, human rights protection and advocacy, mental health, and general well-being. Therefore, as we gather today, one of the strong messages sent across by the 2022 International Women's Day is that women should continue to be involved in programs aimed at improving the conditions of their lives and the world. But for us to succeed at doing that, the male gender must give them level playing grounds to achieve their goals without stigmatization, marginalization, segregation, and oppression through obnoxious law and policies. Your Excellency, Iban Akwa Ibom ya ukom fien man ukom. Ke amenam. Ke nye kemfen amenam yara John. Your Excellency, Iban Akwa Ibom ya ukpe ye fien ubok mfrem. Ke de mo se fien fomenam Akwa Ibom State ante Mercedes-Benz motor. Akwa Ibom State and others. Iban Borie, Akwa Ibom State and others. Iban Akwa Ibom State, Kentucky, His Excellency. His Excellency, Ebo, Yaukbe Firubok. Nteke menameti etiado. Ke nginimi yem 35% zero. Kibane wongedi eri kampo. Ya mi ukpa ye fien ubok. In fact, ndwo kedong. Ukpa ye fien tek. Mbaro. Kiba ni nyong yem sine ni sanyem. Iyem Federal House. Iba ni yem State House. Ewa iti. Ke manam ki baro. Aro kem from ke walk warum. Mbok ya fo nyong set pesa ya fo this pesa seta. Nomboro ke nyong ke de fiet. Anam no iba ne wak ke mufang berep. Mbak amana me kai soy wera nyong fo ke gender inclusion map of the world. Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, please have fun. Have fun. And enjoy this day in grand style. Through His Excellency. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Mbok mbiesi oni yore mbok mane no fangi tiero. Eno fangi tiero. So. Eno fangi tiero. Very much. Your Excellency, wo ba bo government me giba ready again. Despite that, Iban is all you say, I walk around. I have a so by no Eden. Many in Ministry of Men Affairs. I go the Ministry of Family Affairs. Governor, I'm going to Iban, I want to say, but you're man a quarrel over Commissioner for Women Affairs, and when I'm about so. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, but let me invite to present a keynote speech on this event on the theme, on the topic, Gender Equality for an Eco-Friendly Environment, a professor of agri-sociology and rural development in the University of Uyo. A very accomplished Akwa Ibom woman. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Valerie Solomon. Please put your hands together for her as she comes forward here for the keynote speech at this year's event, which I am sure will not take too much time. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, our amiable First Lady, Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel, the Deputy Governor, the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Even Akwa Ibom Medio. Any kwam ufisi kwa do mesima tutu ya ikwa de to. Ebo abase edion iban. Amadion ebe yendito. Ebe yon ikwa do. Ekwa just once. Abase edion ibano. Amadion ebe o yendito. Amen. In Jesus' name. I've been asked to speak on gender equality for an eco-friendly environment. The question we want to ask ourselves is, why should we as women be interested in an eco-friendly environment? Is there any relationship between gender and the environment? What is gender equality? And in what ways can gender equality be achieved for an eco-friendly environment? These are some of the issues I will be addressing today. Gender equality is an integral aspect of an eco-friendly environmental process. The whole world is preaching eco-friendliness and sustainability, and this cannot happen if men and women are not treated equally, valued equally, given equal opportunity and rights to make eco-friendly choices. An eco-friendly process or lifestyle is that which does not harm, they say, is women. Gender is not all about women. Gender refers to the qualities or characteristics that society ascribes to each sex. This comes with roles and expectations. For those of us that were in Uyo in the 80s, I told you that in those days, you know, all those things are gender issues. It is society that decides, it is not universal. A lot of time, we as women complain of gender inequality, and we complain of being, derived of our rights and our privileges. So one of the major things I want us to look at today is how can we ensure gender equality for an eco-friendly environment. I'm going to look at it at two levels. The first one is at the individual level. You definitely have a role to play. You as a woman, can you say what I was about the person next to you? Point to the person, okay, you have a role to play. This gender equality is not just the government. You as a woman, you have a role to play. So let's start from the basics. What I want to ask is that as women, how are we raising our children? Are we encouraging gender inequality in the way we raise our children? It is the work of the woman. Or you people, some of you that your sons are married. By the time you go as a mother-in-law, you go to visit your son. Maybe the husband is moving around cleaning things. That's why my son is the one sweeping the house. My son is doing this. In those days, we used to hear of women. How many women are still doing that, making sacrifices to make sure that their female children are in school? How many of you are making such sacrifices? So it's not just enough for us to be talking about gender inequality and do as if we have nothing to do about it. We also have a role to play. So gender equality should start from the family, from the way we raise our children. As mothers, you should raise your children, your male and your female children, so that they have equity mindsets. So that at the end of the day, when they grow up, by the time the boy goes out, we know that yes, we are equal, we are the same. There's no differences. So Iban, please, you have a role to play. Don't just look at the outside. A lot of time we focus our attention on raising our female children to be wives. How many of you women are raising your male children to be husbands? How many of you are giving the same kind of attention to make sure, I don't want president. I don't want this. Can't you tell your daughter, okay, no president? Baby, no president. Why can't your daughter be president? Why should your daughter be one president alone? By the time you tell your female child, okay, I don't want president, you are encouraging her to look for an ambitious man to marry. You are not encouraging her to be ambitious. Women need to be ambitious. There are places that we need to occupy. Another thing I want to talk about is that to encourage an end to gender inequality, Those of us women that are occupying political offices, what is your attitude towards other women? Are you opening up the space for them to come in? Are you encouraging them? You know, the thing that belongs to you, nobody can take it away from you. So as women that are well placed, please let's open the space. Let's encourage other women. Let's empower them and let them also come up so that they'll be able to have a voice to speak for themselves. The second level that I want to look at, the issue of gender inequality, is at the governmental level. We need to visit some of our local customs. We need to revisit some of our local customs and traditions that reinforce gender inequality. I know that in Akwa Ibom State, we have very good laws. We have the Child's Rights Act, there's the Widows and the Inheritance Law and all of that. But we need enforcement. We need enforcement of those laws. You know, in the course of my work as a university lecturer, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to go to all local government areas in Akwa Ibom State except 2. And this is a general thing. Even though women know their right in certain issues, they cannot claim those their right because of the fear of Mbiam. They cannot. The land and yet no, you cannot take it. And the woman has, the woman leaves. You know, we have a law against it, but it's not being enforced. So because of that, women cannot claim their rights. So Your Excellencies, we need to do we need to work more in the area of enforcement so that women can adequately claim that which is theirs. You know, there's a law against maltreatment of widows, but widows are still being neglected in Akwa Ibom State when they refuse to marry their husband's relatives or they refuse to marry their first son. You know, they are being neglected. So we need to do something about it. In addition to revisiting some of our local customs and traditions, which reinforce gender inequality, Your Excellencies, we need power. Exactly. Women need to be empowered. Exactly. To achieve gender equality for an eco-friendly environment, women need 2 major types of power. The powerful are the ones making all the laws and the rules. Some of them even break the laws that they make, and there's nothing we can do about it because we are powerless. Women need one, economic power. When a woman can pay her bills, when a woman can, take her money and buy the things that she needs, she will have a voice in decision making. There's no family meeting. There's no family meeting. Say, that they will not call her because they don't want to come and pocket, but and she'll have a say. So women need to be empowered economically. Looking at all these women here, I'm sure that so many of them that have political ambition. Some of them will want to contest. How many women here can put money in their pockets and buy nomination form? Or take money and buy a expression of interest form? Even if the forms are given to them free, how many of these women can take part in consultation and be able to, to run their own campaign by themselves? So women need to be empowered to be able to take the kind of decisions that they want to take by themselves. Finally, the other type of power we need, Your Excellency, is political power. The other day, I read in the news that our beautiful First Lady, Her Excellency Mrs. Martha Odom Emmanuel, was unhappy because the National Assembly dismissed the gender-related bill sent to them. I also read that some women protested at the National Assembly. But what did we expect? How many of those women that led the protest will vote for another woman in an election? We still remember vividly the case of Mrs. Sarah Jubril that had only one vote in her party's primaries. Only her own vote. What of her campaign manager? What about all those people she consulted that said, oh, you have my support? None of them voted for her. So how many of those women that carried placards and went to the National Assembly will cast their vote for a woman? Currently, in the National Assembly, we have a ratio of 1 woman to 29 men. So if you have, for every, you have one woman to 29 men, why do you expect that a gender bill will scale through? If they say, okay, let's vote, majority carries the day. Of course, the majority will carry the day. That's what democracy is all about. The minority will have their say, but the majority will have their way. 1 to 29, we cannot have our way, except we go into intense lobbying and negotiation. Even in our own state assembly, how many women do we have there? Only 2 seats are occupied by women out of 26. Out of 26, seats. That's just about 7%. That's 7%. So let's put an end to token representation. It is a known fact that where a woman is made a token representative, the trappings of tokenism prove counterproductive. More than often than not, so that she loses a platform to advocate or push for real empowerment. Oftentimes, such token representation stifles the token and restricts them from accessing real power, let alone empowering other women. We may talk from now till tomorrow, but if more action-oriented women do not have access to power, nothing will change. We need to go beyond the rhetoric by domesticating the national gender policy as we implement at least, Your Excellency, at least 35%. It can be more than that. At least 35% affirmative action in favor of women in all appointive and elective positions. Which means if we have 26 ministries, how many commissioners should we have? At least, how many? At least 9 women commissioners if we have 26. If we have 26 seats in the State House of Assembly, we need at least 9 women in the State House of Assembly. And then we take this all down to boards, to all the agencies, special assistants, all the PAs, 35%. And to tell you the truth, this state is ripe for a female speaker. How come we've never had a female as a Speaker of the State House of Assembly? Looking at the current political landscape, I know that I think that the next governor is going to be a male. Women, why don't we strategize? Why don't we work towards 2031 for us to have a female governor in Akwa Ibom State? It is possible. We have the number. We have what it takes to have a female governor in the state. Conclusion. As I conclude, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, realizing gender equality for an eco-friendly environment requires addressing women's unequal access to economic, political, social, and cultural resources, which are located not only in formal public arenas, but also in private and semi-private places, households, and communities. Redressing these inequalities requires a systematic, deliberate approach that addresses the fundamental causes and effects of unequal citizenship status at the national, state, and household levels. To contribute to the gender deconstruction process for an eco-friendly environment, I propose a bottom-up gender deconstruction approach, where the key to changing the narrative lies primarily in the hands of women. This is by building an equity mindset in their children and grandchildren, since they are the primary agents of socialization in homes and victims of gender-based discrimination. This approach assumes that proper consequence management, gender-sensitive socialization awareness for both the female and the male child from home would encourage fair play and build an equity mindset in children, resulting in a generation of gender-sensitive adults. Thank you.
Your Excellency, that woman is a professor and a very seasoned professor, an academic of no mean repute, Professor of Agric Sociology and Rural Development, Professor Valerie Solomon, making a very powerful advocacy for gender equality for an eco-friendly environment. Your Excellency, now I'm going to go to radio because I come now to printing press and print poster for House of Assembly. I 35% to the minimum. Thank you very much, Professor. But at the same time, I am going to secretary election. So the time on a time on the it's also a work in Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a brief 3 minutes, and please, we want to kindly appeal to the next speaker to kindly take 3 minutes. We're having presentations here on eye health and positive parenting and barriers to gender parity. Let me invite the presentation, which will be made by Dr. Happiness Uduk, for just 3 minutes, please. We are really pressed for time. Please put your hands together for her as she comes forward. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Your Excellency, the First Lady of Akwa Ibom State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, I'd like to request that I be permitted to stand on the already established protocol. I'm here to talk about effective and purposeful or intentional parenting. As mothers, who are the majority of those who are here today, we'll be talking to ourselves, and then to the few men who are here with us and partners in building the home. We'd like to say that we're inundated by several tales, stories, news making the rounds. The most recent in our environment being the ritual killing of the fashion designer Bamishe in a BRT bus in Lagos. This marks of some lapses within the upbringing architecture of those who have become adults today. This, to me, seems to smack of the fact that we have some lapses within our upbringing structures. Otherwise, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't have ritualists killing women. We won't have Yahoo boys looking for smart money and also involving in ritual killing. And we won't also have so many vices and those that are decadent in our society. Parenting, as far as we're concerned, is the responsibility of both fathers and mothers. But nowadays we get to find out that this is left to the preserve of most mothers, while most of our fathers and husbands are absentee fathers, neglecting, abandoning, or because of having to look for sources of livelihood. Mothers are those who stay more with the children and understand them a bit better. If we cast back our minds, ladies and gentlemen, we get to find out that in time past, upbringing and parenting was the responsibility of everybody in the society. The old, the young, older siblings, generally everybody within the home. But today we find that it's become individualistic. What do I mean? Take, for instance, a teacher in the school tries to correct a child. By morning, either the mother or the father is in that school trying to beat up the teacher and asking the teacher, why did you have to beat my child? We have left what was before, and that's why we have problems. What is parenting? Parenting is the upbringing of a child, whether male or female, from infancy to adulthood. And what would I say effective or purposeful parenting is? It is that kind of parenting in which the parents put in every bit of thing they have into the child, owing to the fact that there is something that they have in mind that this child would become in the future. Therefore, it is purposeful. I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible. The Bible says in Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. If training was not that responsible, or something that needed to be done with utmost tact and purposefulness, ladies and gentlemen, the Bible wouldn't have said, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. There are 4 types of parenting styles. They include permissive, authoritative, neglectful, and finally, authoritarian. The permissive kind of parenting just is the kind of parenting where those who are involved, they don't want trouble. They allow the children have their day. They overindulge them so that there will not be any conflict. Authoritative parenting sets goals, rules, and expectations. Neglectful, uninvolved or absent. And finally, authoritarian sets strict rules and punishments. As far as I'm concerned as a person, a blend and 4 would do it. Sometimes you have to be authoritarian. And sometimes we think we're using them because we're paying them or training them at the expense of our own children. I'd like to tell us mothers, now and I'm not uniform for Kawudwa, Bebe yen for Nai Kawudwa. Bebe yen for Nai Yerusan, Nai Yerefong, Nai Nomufok, no Sana. Both male and female. You need to do that so that at the end of the day, you don't end up training these other children. You and I know that after a while, they will leave us. And then our children will be there, unable to do practically anything. Parenting involves ensuring that you're part of these children's day-to-day living. Eli finally had his sons die. And when they died, he was heartbroken and he too died. And we know how the story ended. His family didn't have anybody else to continue with the dynasty. On the other hand, we had Jacob, who trained his sons, especially Joseph. He was purposeful about the training of Joseph, such that even when there was nobody who knew Joseph in Egypt, Joseph said something. When Potiphar's wife tried to lead him into sin, how can I do such a thing and sin against my God? Can our children say this in our absence because of how we've trained them? When they leave us to school, do we know how they behave? Are they not the children who go with 2 sets of clothes? The ones you see and the ones you don't know anything about, especially our females. Are they not the ones who go about when we're not there? But I'd like to tell us that if we instill what we want to see in our children, they will definitely not depart from this. How do we train them? First, I as a parent must be a model. How do I mean be a model? I should not just be the parent who says, do what I say and not what I do. There certainly has to be communication between parents and children. That means that I don't have to be that autocrat who's up there. I remember as a growing-up child, whenever my father comes back home, we usually knew the sound of his machine. We'll all run and hide. But when mommy comes around, we'll be happy and move around. Don't be that kind of parent that your children cannot talk to. You should be their first friends. And when you are, you will get to hear everything they would tell you. and they will be forced to tell you because you're their friends, rather than take pieces of advice from outside. Another thing we'll have to do is that you need to make time for your kids. We're very busy trying to look for money. We're very busy trying to make ends meet. But I ask and urge us that if we want to produce children that we'll be proud of tomorrow, that we certainly need to ensure that we have and spend time with our children. We don't need to also be parents who push down our children by the things we say to them. Because what you say remains in your children. They take what you say more seriously than what outsiders say. So if mommy says, you do lad, or daddy says, you good for nothing, then it means that that child will certainly not go far. Your Excellencies, I would have loved to continue, but I've been asked to stop. I'd like to request Your Excellencies that when we're asked to prepare papers and take time to prepare them, we should please be given the time to exhaust what we came up with. It's not easy to have to prepare this and then come to be given 1 minute or 3 minutes. I'm just from the neck of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. From Abuja, I headed straight down here. That's why I tried to finish this paper, because of the respect we have for women. But then when we come, we're not allowed to exhaust them. I'd like, on a final note, to say that as parents, we must ensure that you flog the child when the child needs to be flogged. You praise the child when the child needs to be praised. You take the child out when the child deserves to be taken out, because purposeful and effective parenting is wholesome. Thank you.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Happiness That way, equality be the young motto.
Arm of government to please come to the microphone to give a goodwill message at this year's International Women's Day celebration. Please, can we put our hands together, celebrate Honorable Justice Ekaite Francesca Obot as she approaches the microphone for a goodwill message at this event. This one ensures that justice prevails and is done to all manner of people. Very cerebral, very coordinated Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, the Father of the State, and our Mother, Her Excellency, Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel, the Speaker, here represented by the Deputy, the Deputy Governor, I'm so sorry. I will stop at that before I breach any further protocol. I want to thank God for today, a day to celebrate womanhood. I thank God that I'm part of that womanhood being celebrated today. I thank God for all the women here, because while we're talking about breaking the limits, we have a lot of them who have done that already. And I give kudos to them. All I want to say here before I end is that when we talk about women liberation, we first of all need to liberate ourselves mentally. We need, first of all, to put ourselves in a situation where we do not operate thinking the men are oppressing. The men are not oppressing us. You choose to stay under oppression. And the best way you can do that is to be focused on what you want, know what you want, and go for it. Today we have women who are working in that perspective. And I want to congratulate each and every one of us. I pray that as we go on, we are going to begin to manifest as what God created us to be. And that takes me to the book of Genesis, where God created man. The Bible makes us to understand that he created man both as he and a she. He created Adam, and in Adam was Eve. If we have understanding of that creation, you will know that man and the woman are equal. When Adam decided that he wanted a partner, he told the Lord. The Lord caused a deep sleep to come upon him. And when he slept, he took out the woman out of the man and placed her by his side. So, in anything we do, if you do not bring the woman into it, because the woman is actually the finesse of the man. He took all the fine qualities out of the man and placed them in the woman. The woman is meant to complement the man. And if you do not take that into consideration, there will be trouble in paradise. The moment Adam had his partner and he abandoned his partner at a point, the woman was alone and trouble came in. In governance, there is need for, in fact, this 35%, I don't know what it's all about. It should be 50-50. It should be 50-50. If we have 26 commissioners, 13 female, 13 male. As they come together, they complement one another, and you have good governance. And so, I wish the women, as we go on, that victory is on the way. God will bring us to a position where the men will appreciate the qualities of the woman. Because we definitely have the things that some men do not have. Though they also have those things we do not have, I see the need for us to work together. When we work together and we keep together and work in harmony, the sky is the limit. So congratulations to the women. Congratulations to the women of the world. Congratulations to the women of Akwa Ibom State. And congratulations to the women of all the local government areas. God bless you all.
Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, Honorable Justice Ekaite Obot. Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom out of 50-50. It ain't any 50, but any 50. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for your points, my Lord. Thank you. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, a little bit of item number 13. Other competition. Competition, CB judge. But can I request all the cameramen to kindly move their equipment out of the dance arena, please, so that we can see. Abandiba ni correct when senatorial district army, and that means ki correct when senatorial district being ide when ina gunega. Unagi bring back when ibo some barrier bakama fanga basem biom fenenek. Other competition. Ema mambo bakero ya itangme many weekend ikan. So sorry, I move a more. But I work. I'm going to come and put a second to me so that I'm just being enam. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Ibani correspondent senatorial district, I'm going to on the game. Your Excellency, put a Mariko welcome songs, Ibani to a oh. In fact, you're recording the office info because I'm sure you are going to be happy with the way they did that song. I think the women of the correspondent senatorial district are ready. Uyo and Eket, please be on standby. Ufangidi ba sebo eko kodo wo ya aga ge word ke mba fre we word ida army. Your time starts now. Ya kwa go ba no iba ni correspondent senatorial district bok. Thank you very much. Non variété om je sine unek non variété om je sine unek bok
Let's celebrate Yang Miaubong in Ibani Correspondent Senatorial District. Mbok is so song Ibani Correspondent Senatorial District. Thank you very much. Please can we celebrate them? Mbok ya isongi tong sebe kwa next year. Ya isongi sebe kwa next year. Ikwa idika bikweri borowo. Thank you very much. Please can we celebrate them? Uyo Senatorial District, please. You should be setting up now to take the stage just as the Correspondent Senatorial District exits. Moya Gibia Bogiro Correspondent Senatorial District, Negenye for the 30. Equal Mon Neme 30. Our Excellency Neme Senate Toby Wood. Please, can we put our hands together as the women from Uyo Senate?
Mbok afre free band sidami mi do mbiosi bine wonde mbok keta yanga basiki gbe mbok ino fan ya mbiosi bine wonde rekriti senek mbok ya mbiosi yong itie ki da canopy ke mona mbok ino fan mbok aba do yo senatorial district we be fruta mbok ka itie mfo ino fan. Thank you. ba no fang ya mo na myo yo myo. Myo sisre ready no fang. Myo sisre ready no fang. No fang. Uyo Senatorial District, 1 minute more.
Akwa Ibom is somehow. Akwa Ibom is a number is so. Incredible Kalam. Akwa Ibom modo Ibani don't want to. I saw a big guy so you don't MPM. That same God. And me. If I do send Iban. All of son. I make Nananga. Mataudom. And Yadomi. The first lady. And Yadomi. Some back. Men on your family. And yes, you.
Iban Akwa Ibom isongo. Iban. Meleken koma basimba amfana miyo. Ameka tiban. Mikbi doro ebe mi. His Excellency. Onyen udobi Emmanuel. Anayo yaraba mi. Amekre bake governor nyen. Ana Iban eba ke all the parastatals. Local government ke Iban eba. Afebriti Iban eba. Councilor Iban eba. Chairman Iban eba. American Funami, Ian Uboida, ye governor, His Excellency Ebemi, Aka is on support in. My favorite, break the bias. Ikaka is in no elective position. Iban Akwa Ibom, Yaremeka is over.
Amen. Yes, so. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's also AKS Senatorial District, please. AKS Senatorial District. Uyo, every song every swampeno. I am back bound a but I'm at the image to go. Boy, he could poke my name. It's also AKS Senatorial District, please.
AKS Senatorial District, Mbranyi, Brayam dan di Bram ya koranya fiaga yit. Mbram ya dikin yesek. Ida na kesi man di Bram. Edi ban e bagareda. Ede ya ite ibe mbra fiaga yit. Mama mara kita. Yeah. Say. I'm a da. Area one da. Baba winam gangba yiganaro mataria gweka o winam gangba emam yaria gweka o winam gangba masa abiaria gayima o winam gangba yiganaro oba o winam gangba yiganaro matadaba angaya yaraba o winam gangba yiganaro erime gambiario yanwan o winam gangba yiganaro Imam Yawina Ngangba Ikanara.
Et ça sort.
Yes, Mama Wima Awina Ngangba Kanara.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a song. Reason. It's also a case Senatorial District. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mazon Diogo, for the Yasina praise and worship. So, madam. Thank you. Are we in a good area? It's also. Thank you very much. Brass band, please. Can we have an interlude, please? Brass band, can we please have an interlude? Iba amen ametiti o. Amen ametiti. Thank you very much. I will be with I said in competition between Uyo Eket Yekore Kwene Senatorial District. But you're seeking the competition. Yeah, I'm young in near result, please. And I'm young in near result, please. Thank you very much. Brass band, please, can we have an interlude? Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is the grand finale of the 2022 International Women's Day. At this point, we are going to invite to make remarks on this occasion the mother of the state, the mother who in all honesty has been exemplary as First Lady of Akwa Ibom State, the mother who has rallied the women of Akwa Ibom round in more ways than one, our own number one wife of the governor of Akwa Ibom State, progenitor of FAREP, Her Excellency Deaconess Martha Udom Emmanuel, the mother of the state. She is the one who will make remarks on this occasion at this point. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me respectfully invite Her Excellency to please kindly come forward and speak on this occasion. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency, the wife of the governor. Please, can we make way on that carpet? Can we give way on that carpet, please?
take your seats. Your Excellency, my dear husband, the gender-friendly governor, His Excellency Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel. I recognize the presence of the Deputy Governor, Uncle Mo, my Lord the Chief Judge. Please permit me to stand on already established protocol. His Excellency has another engagement so that we can release him. Iban Akwa Ibom, are you here? AKS senatorial women, are you here? Uyo senatorial women, are you here? Iko Tekpene, are you here? Thank you very much for coming. I just want to thank God for today, for giving women this opportunity to come out to celebrate ourselves. It is the Lord's doing. I felicitate with all the beautiful women of Akwa Ibom State on this International Women's Day celebration. The theme for this year's celebration is gender equality. Thank you. Heavens have recorded that. The bias we seek to break as women is entrenched in our culture and practice. It is deeply enshrined in our history, but its impacts are telling on us. In all, women experience it in various ways, shapes, or forms. However, knowing that this bias exists in our different society is not enough. Efforts must be made to break it, which is what the sub-theme of this year's International Women's Day espouse. The bias we must and have to break includes prejudice and discriminations, outdated gender stereotypes, as well as sexism. Attitude and cultural practices that tend to favor one gender over another, which have no place in contemporary society, but which still shape and limit the lives of attainments of women on a daily basis. These are the biases we must break. These cultural practices and attitudes result in the systematic and gradual underrepresentation of women socially, academically, and politically. The impact of these biases devalues and undervalues the many contributions of women to our society. It is also the reason why too many women are living in persistent fear of harassment, abuse, domestic and sexual violence, and in too many cases, murder, thereby creating a mindset of inferiority among the women. This year's International Women's Day seeks to break the bias and challenge those practices that militate against the realization of our full potential in society. A society in which women do not feel safe is not one in which we can ever be truly equal. Permit me to stress here that gender equality sought by women could be realized if we take the bull by the horn by utilizing all hands and taking full advantage of unique opportunities in our hands to create history in this regard. The ball is on our court. Let's play to score a goal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me at this juncture accord credit to my dear husband and the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, who has graciously effected the popular 35% women affirmation in most
of the political offices. With the magnanimity of the executive governor in the direction of women emancipation, the stage is now open for the women folk in the state realization of this goal. It was Mary Kom, an Indian politician and activist, who said, "Don't let anyone tell you you are weak because you are a woman." Women, are we weak? Don't let anyone tell you you are weak because you are a woman. As we celebrate this year's International Women's Day, I urge you, Akwa Ibom women, to let these words of Mary charge you to break the bias. We are not weak. We are as strong as our men. God created man from dust, but a woman from what? From the ribs of a man. A rib and dust, which one is stronger? So you see why we are unique. That is why we are unique. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for sparing your time. I know you have a very tight schedule, but because of the passion you have for your women, you shelved all the other responsibilities to come and be with us here. We've been talking about 35%. We want to thank you. You've done it. But you are not yet there fully. I want to believe by the time you make your statements this afternoon, in the next coming election, women will achieve that 35% you are looking for. The Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs already said it, that you are a pace setter. All other states copied from you when they came to see the number of women you have in your government. Please, my dear husband, can you set that pace again by giving us 35% in 2023 so that all others will copy you? We will be so glad that you will do this for us. So many women have come out. I challenge all of them that they should not be afraid. They should contest. They should come out. And as the keynote speaker said, I want to thank the two keynote speakers and the doctors that gave us lecture. Women, may we not be the problem of ourselves. Let us do the needful when the time comes. Anybody that has vied for any position, don't be afraid. It is a contest. We'll contest. Even if you don't win, contest. It is a contest. It is not a war. But we want women's participation. And that I know your friendly governor will seriously give a thought to that. We have broken the barriers already. Your Excellency, I want to thank you and all other men that are here to support us. I know you will continue to support us. Women will never disappoint you. We will continue to be that helpmate that God created us to be. Women, I always tell you, you have to be submissive to your husbands. When we are talking of equality, we are not saying you should go and rub shoulders with your husband. That is not what equality means. What we are seeking for is equal opportunity for us to showcase our talents, our potential that God has given unto us. That is the equality we are talking about. And I know by our conduct, by our character, we will attain it. Thank you for coming out this 2022 Women's Day. God will bless all of you. God will bless your families. God will bless your children. God will bless your husbands.
Thank you very much. Akwa, Her Excellency, the wife of the governor. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Ibana Akwa Ibom, mena metitio. Mbo yang announce ke fun bo second antenam ke yanam. Match pass ebiso isasa. Mbo. Ba me we dikede ke we isa match pass aba. So music be them for the match pass be them. Mbo. Unere gene kedo Chief Judge Evangelist David John Edogo annual result dedi. Result of the show kunere first position with 85% again here Uyo Senatorial District. Thank you very much. Thank you. Iban Akwa Ibom Mede. Iban Uyo Senatorial District Moiba. Iban Ikodekpene Senatorial District Moiba. Iban Eket Senatorial District Moiba. Iban Governor Udom Emmanuel Moiba. Iban Emeket Governor. Iban Emeyemikom se Governor Bitang. Mbiosi Yemikom se Governor Bitang. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome to address the women of Akwa Ibom at this grand finale of International Women's Day, His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel.
Iban is here. Iban is fine. Iban is correct. Nkoko. Ndopo. Please, shall we be seated? Thank you. Thank you. Iban Uyo Senatorial District, congratulations. Iban Eket Senatorial District, congratulations. Iban Ikorekpene Senatorial District, congratulations. Thank you. Usori Iban. Est-ce que c'est un no iden? Est-ce que c'est un no iden? So equality, I can equality. So even if you can't afford it, I rather go again 50%. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, my Lord the Chief Judge, the Deputy Speaker, distinguished senators here present, the wife of the former governor of our state, please also permit me not to extend the protocol. Iban empowerment. And a match pass. Match pass, I don't say Yayakan. Njemi say Kelo government ready win is why I am. Akelo government ready win. Ona. Okay. All right. Thank you. I've heard you. Thank you. So unanimously to now win. Yaka competition ka. Let me encourage all the women. I will not excuse myself for you to continue until I go to the exhibition stand. Because I learned each local government, you've taken pains to come out with what you've done over time. I'm going to take a tour after my speech. But please, please, let nobody leave. Immediately after that, let all women wait. I'll still be watching you, even as I'm driving. I want to see, I read from your body language. So let me appreciate the women of Akwa Ibom State. Iba stere yayagen tumio. Iba stere banai fonon tumio. Iba stere banai celebrate the Women's Day tumio. Akwa Ibom State women, you are number one in Nigeria. Of course, once you are number one in Nigeria, you are number one in Africa. If you listen to the intellectual property that we have amongst the women, did you listen to those keynote speakers? Beginning with the medical, the ophthalmologist, how she described up to what we did not know. Today I've learned something from her. So she took time to explain. And I just want to believe we'll abide to those instructions. Then again, lo and behold, the professor, oh my God. Iban, the professor scattered the books. After her, the ASU president, Agedi, you could see she was looking like an activist. Gender equality. I would have ASU president. But it's only in here Iban ASU president, there's strike. Either ASU president, there's always no strike. So Iban should balance that equation and make sure that there's no more strike in the university, so that our children can go back to learn. Please, I appeal to the women. Iban is a my memetieti. Yak asu. Enam yado mmmm. So that I make up. Let me also appreciate the Ministry of Women Affairs. But it's only that, no, for me talking, I want to believe the next governor will set up Ministry of Men Affairs. And me talking about Women Affairs, it's in social welfare. It's in them. Eden is also coming. Go and tell them. Men are also coming with Ministry of Men Affairs. EMA. Gender equality. Gender equality. Let me reassure the women. I've heard all that from the Commissioner to Women Affairs to all other women, most especially what the First Lady, my dear wife, has said. Let me assure the women that the party that I belong to, the PDP, Enoiban, equal opportunities. So I want to reassure the women that as much as you people are agitating for equal opportunity in 2023, PDP had already given. So carry go. Carry go. Carry go. PDP had already ensured that. It is in PDP that you see, even in our constitution, we say that even when you're picking ad hoc delegates, you can't cheat the women. No other party. Only which party? So which one of good gender equality? He might implement. As for the Viban, he grab. So, and he will also see to encourage the women, as we are about going into primaries and then other electionary activities. I made them get PDP, even about nomination for non-fund, to encourage the women. Am I young from arrogance so fun? Which one again under the gender equality? We've already implemented. Any woman, IME contest election or PDP platform, on nomination form, can form once you have expressed the interest. So I needed to take time to announce all this so that Iban Edion can implement the gender equality. So we'll continue to give them equal opportunities, then you will excel and get to where you want to go to. Let me assure the women, the Deputy Speaker just whispered to me, there are one or two other bills concerning the women that have not signed. I've just asked the Attorney General that once I leave here, let them bring all those bills. I'm going to sign all of them. I'll sign all of them. I will sign all. But Iban Igbaudo, nothing goes for nothing. I want to plead with the women. Recently, secondary school, primary school, Professor Dangado Igisi Ibake Yoko. Iban at the early stages. You know, did you hear what that woman said? You concentrate so much on it on the Iban. Ubuka those secondary schools and those primary schools. I made you on the Iban in onion friend. Being onion friend on the Toiden. Why? Because no Iban, Itanganian, Ikaman the Toiden, no for that, Ikaman the Toiban. So, please, Bound kind of a nomin heading again, Bound. Igbaudong. Mbok, ayin foma be dako fongwet. Chere yeti eti. Igbi na ayin wo ku fongfo. Adoma be dako fongwet se ni ku agekpan. Ege don fongwet, awiki don anwan. Eto na ma be dako fongwet. Instead of kamagi kwa, no ye biro, no ye pencil, no ye eraser, no ye exercise book. I've just discussed with the Attorney General. I'm going to see the Chief Judge. Mbereribo, because the three a certain age, he can back up, will not arise. A three normal use equa on another three. I will not tolerate that. Because a three na yekamero a kagaman. A three na yemakbado a kagan also aman. So let's try from the home. Able give a woman a house, and she will give you a home. Let the women in reawakening our women through this program and this project. Let me also assure the women, in terms of all these violence-based activities, we have zero tolerance. Anything about, I think the worst thing I'm saying, I think Her Excellency is also going around federal constituency by federal constituency. Add the issue of rape. But it be condemned in totality. Well, I'm not a judge, so I'm not pronouncing judgment before trial. But Chief Judge Maroti, and thank God, Chief Judge also a woman. As you conclude the celebration of this year's International Women's Day celebrations, I urge you to take a stand against violence in all forms of ramifications. Violence in our political engagements, violence at home and in workplaces, violence at schools, state for almost 7 years now be replaced with the violence of the past. Our mothers and our sisters were affected by the political violence of the past. We can't afford to those fearful years. Anyone, therefore, who markets violence or charge people to engage in violent acts must be rejected. Politics is and should never be a blood sport. Politics is about persuasion, about the need to convince people to buy into one's vision, not a vision based on guns and violence. Idan mi politics don't go come some governor anyen. Go governor ka election no. Ayo bagay say the woman you contest election thanks say be now. That is different from what governor is doing now. So come out and tell the people what are you going to do for the people, which is different from what we are doing now. So let's know. Ido platform. Okam and some governor anyen. Ido politics ido. Any such politics, I say the people reject that politics. The earth rejects such politics. And the heavens reject that politics. I want to tell the women, I saw an item on the program that I learned they want to empower the women. I give me that empowerment program. But I support that empowerment program. Each local government, Sebi Nanam frame on that empowerment program. Each local government, Eyad Nomin, Iban Duop. Out of which, Ibanado, Itune must be widows. Itune must be widows. So, whatsoever Inanam, Nyadian, K10 pedalo government. Nyadian 200,000 naira per each of those women. Each of those women, Nyadian 200,000 naira each. So whatsoever, enamun of your frame, if 10 of you qualify under that, know that you have additional 200,000. MID Women's Celebration next year. You know, fam, for microphone. Atang parable of the talents. Emono talent 200. Ifanke anamasio. Yabasedion Iban. Iban oh.
Anam boy nam kese como. Oh, governor, anam boy nam kese como. Governor, anam boy nam kese como. Ay ay ay. Anam boy nam kese como.
His Excellency the Governor proceeding on an inspection.
Anam boy nam kese como. Governor, anam boy nam kese como. Governor, anam boy nam kese como. Anamboyinam kese como Daddy Udo Emmanuel Anamboyinam kese como Sosomo Anamboyinam kese como Etieke Anamboyinam kese como Daddy Udo Emmanuel Anamboyinam kese como Etieke Anamboyinam kese como Sosomo Papa Ay 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 ay. Daddy Morgan, I don't go in a case they come so. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, they don't go in a case they come. I don't go in a case they come. Papa, man, I'm even the Karana will never go. Ay, 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 ay. It is so. Oh, so. It is so. Everybody say, Nation. Christ King, hallelujah. Christ King, Christ King, Akwa Ibom women, Christ King, Christ King, hallelujah. Christ King, hallelujah. Christ King, hallelujah.
Thank you very much. Iban Boki da Okoro. Nag, nyoi tiempo. Your Excellency, the First Lady of Akwa Ibom State, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, imikwenge exhibition, imikwenge afro tangutang, idanga mibina match pass. Iba nedaka local government by local government kibina match pass. And the brass ebi bre, enyoy organized na ibisanga marching. So the brass mboy position idem for very well. No for ebi bre, Iban boy daka line. A darker line, brass, give us an interlude. Iban boy, darker line. Local government by local government, starting with the local government. Ibinama